G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnall. This is ACWSport. What I'm going to do this week, instead of going into so much depth like I have tried to for all of the games that have been played out over the Premier League weekends, I'm going to start changing the way that I do my videos. I'm just going to start talking about the games and the talking points that I believe are actually worth talking about, because sometimes I literally just feel like I'm filling videos with content that maybe you guys don't necessarily want to hear, because some of the games are just by the by. Like, there's not really too much to talk about from those games. And this weekend, when I look at this weekend's fixtures, the ones that have just gone, only some of the games are really worth talking about. Others are kind of what you expect, just partly because of where we are in the season, also because of the scores, and also just because of what happened in those games. I will still try and mention every single team, but I'm only going to really try to talk about the issues that I really feel are key to talk about. Now, this weekend, there were some very big results down towards the bottom of the Premier League. For example, you look at Bournemouth picking up a massive win at Newcastle. Fantastic header from Steve Cook in the 92nd minute. Big win for Bournemouth, but that's pretty much all I really have to say on that game. We know that it's, those two teams, they're going to be battling around the similar kind of positions this season. It's just a big away win for Bournemouth, and there's not really too much more I can say on that. Newcastle have dipped in form a little bit recently, but I fully expect them to get back into form once they've played Man United at Old Trafford, for example. Burnley versus Southampton. Wonderful header from Vokes. Burnley up to 7th. But we know that Southampton struggled to score at home. And aside from that, and the fact it's another good away win for Burnley, I don't really have too much else to talk about with that game. The same can be said for Swansea and Brighton. A big away win for Brighton. Another goal for Glenn Murray. He's in good form. And Brighton are really, starting to build momentum this season. But aside from that, I don't really feel like there's too much to talk about from that game, because we know Swansea have been poor at home. We know Brighton have been improving as the season goes on. So it's a result that I kind of expected. Huddersfield versus West Brom. Wonderful goal from Van La Parra, especially for your first goal in the Premier League. But aside from that, aside from the sending off, which was stupid, again, there's not really too much to talk about from that game. It's just another good home win for Huddersfield, and if they can maintain this home form moving forward, they've got every chance of staying up. But aside from those points that I've just mentioned there, I don't really have too much else to talk about from those games. I will put Stoke and Leicester in there because it was a good game to watch. But again, I thought Leicester would nick it, but I also wasn't surprised by the draw. Peter Crouch is a legend. I love that man. You've just got to love how happy he is all the time, especially at his age, to be coming off the bench, scoring goals like he is. It's brilliant. I mean, Shaqiri had a good goal. Mahrez had a good goal. But aside from that, again, not really too much to talk about. Two very even teams, and that's kind of how half of the Premier League felt this week. Teams that are kind of in and around each other, having very tight games, not really too much to talk about, but in the end, we got a lot of 1-0s and a draw. So that's all I really want to talk about with regards to those games this week. And now I want to talk about the big talking points from my perspective this weekend in the Premier League. The first one being that Chelsea beat Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Now, I thought this could be a draw in my predictions just simply because Chelsea were battered so badly by Roma in midweek. However, before my predictions and before that game, I was going to put Chelsea down to win this game 2-1. United have got such a bad record at Stamford Bridge. They've lost to Chelsea more than any other team in Premier League history, and they've lost at Stamford Bridge more than any other away ground in Premier League history. And there just seems to be a bit of a hoodoo over United. Saying that, they didn't play very well. Chelsea really wanted to respond after that defeat in midweek. They did in style. Alvaro Morata was unbelievable in this game. He was brilliant. And considering United have got the best defence in the Premier League, Jones and Smalling did not know how to live with him. And his header was magnifico. Absolutely fantastic. And you can see Chelsea's money has brought a quality player there. With United, I do feel sorry for Romelu Lukaku, because you can see he's low on confidence where he hasn't scored. I don't think he's being given very good support by the players around him. Mkhitaryan went disappearing in this game for me. He's slowly turning into Man United's version of Ozil. At the start of the season, go back and watch my videos. I was praising him because he started the season fantastically, and I really thought this is the player that has come with all this hype from Borussia Dortmund. But he just seems to be slipping back into this kind of yes-no form that we saw him in last year, where he's good for one game and then kind of average for the next 5. And it's in these big games that he really needs to step up. But United weren't particularly good. They missed Pogba massively. For me, their standout performer is still Nemanja Matic. He's been their best player so far this season. So I feel sorry for him and I feel sorry for Lukaku because the rest of the team just weren't quite at the races in this game. But big win for Chelsea. Mourinho will be bitterly disappointed. And it opens up that race once again for, at the moment, second place and the other Champions League spots. Because City, after seeing them beat Arsenal, at the moment they're kind of running away with it. I don't think they're going to. I think that they are going to hit a dip in form at some point, even though the football they play is absolutely fantastic. They look untouchable at times. But the big question for me out of this game, all right, Wenger moaning about Sterling is a load of rubbish. It was a penalty. Deal with it. He's always got to have an excuse. And Sterling didn't dive, unfortunately. You can see, watch the replays. Monreal catches his leg, Stonewall penalty. City had looked pretty comfortable anyway. Aside from one Ramsey shot before that penalty, Arsenal hadn't really done anything in the game. Their pressing was pretty sloppy, and that's why City were able to look so comfortable. Kevin De Bruyne, as we know, untouchable this season. Best player in the Premier League, showed it again in this game. But the big talking point for me in this game isn't how well City played. It's what the hell Arsene Wenger is thinking. Look at Alexander Lacazette. You pay the best part of £50 million and you start him on the bench. He scored 6 Premier League goals, double the amount of any other player in the Arsenal squad so far this season. And you start Sanchez, who said he doesn't want to be at the club, basically, by not signing a new contract, potentially going to City for free in the summer. You start him over Lacazette. Lacazette comes on, looks threatening straight away, scores for you pretty much straight away. You give him 20 minutes and then you put him right wing and brings you real one. Lacazette is one of the top strikers in Europe. People have been saying it for years. And this is how you're going to treat him. It just baffles me because I wonder if Lacazette had been started up front. Sure, start Sanchez because he is a good player. And look, he still played fairly well, but don't have him as your main striker. You've brought Lacazette in so that you can have Sanchez in the winger position you brought Sanchez to fill. You know, try those two up front together in terms of Sanchez on the wing, you know what I mean, like 4-3-3 or whatever. Okay, and just have Lacazette as your main striker because he looked threatening and he caused City problems when he came on. Look, as for Jesus' goal, Silva was definitely offside. Arsenal got unlucky with the Lio's decision. Unfortunately, it happens. It's not good to see happen, but that's just the way the game went. But aside from that, it would have been interesting to see if Wenger had started Lacazette, like he should have started him against Chelsea, what Arsenal could have really done in this game, because I feel that this defeat is on Wenger for me. But comment below, Arsenal fans, let me know. Do you agree with what I have to say about that? Moving on to another team from the north that won very well this weekend. Liverpool picked up a big 4-1 away win at West Ham. Now, it's a bit sad to see because Slavan Bilic this morning was sacked by West Ham following the form that West Ham have been in. Bilic, very humble, said that he did expect it. Now, while I'm making this video, West Ham haven't announced that they've got a new manager yet. The favourite for the West Ham job is David Moyes. Whether or not that's a step up, I don't really think so. But West Ham fans, comment below, let me know, what do you make of David Moyes being the favourites to take over at West Ham? But yeah, look, good win for Liverpool. West Ham were poor, especially in the first half. It was easy for Liverpool. Salah, he's currently the top goal-scoring winger in the whole of Europe's top 5 leagues. He's having a great season so far, although when you actually consider how many chances he's also missed so far this season, he'd be right up there probably as the Premier League's top goal scorer at the moment if he could actually put more of his chances away. But still, not taking anything away from him. He's playing fantastic and he's wonderful to watch, and he gets a whole bag full of goals in various different ways, which is wonderful. But yeah, shame about what happened to Slavan Bilic, but yeah, at the end of the day, West Ham were just stuck, weren't they? I don't really think they had any other option. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Another team that have been struggling an awful lot were Liverpool's rivals, Everton, but they picked up a massive win at home to Watford, coming from 2-0 down. Unsworth making some big, brave decisions, taking off Wayne Rooney, bringing on Calvert-Lewin, and also throwing on Aaron Lennon as well, and it worked. Look, Watford fans and Watford in general have said that, you know, the defender, when he brought down Lennon, slipped. Doesn't matter, he still fouled him in the box. Lennon's movement was brilliant, and that's kind of what forced him to slip. Yes, they got lucky because they did give Watford a penalty. Cleverly, thankfully, missed for Unsworth. But, yeah, big win for Everton. He just won the now. I mean, look, the 3 games that Unsworth was given, that's not enough time to judge him because Look, Chelsea away, really, really hard place to go. Defending champions, and it's in the League Cup. Okay, Lyon, Europa League. Everton were as good as out, and Lyon are a good side. Leicester had just had Claude Puel appointed as their manager. 3 away games. That's not the right amount of time to give a caretaker manager to take charge of a team. Yes, all right, we know Everton rode their luck in this game, but they picked up their first big win. It's at home, and you just wonder now. They're up to 15th. This is where the season can start. So let's wait and see. I hope for Unsworth case, it is what's going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, Tottenham, they picked up a 1-0 win at home to Crystal Palace at Wembley. Very flat performance from Tottenham. They were very lucky not to lose this game. Gazzaniga, their goalkeeper, who filled in for Lloris, was absolutely fantastic. Son, in the end, picked up a wonderful goal that separated the two sides, but Tottenham really rode their luck. Thankfully, Palace are awful at trying to score goals. In the last 138 shots they've had at goal, they've only scored 4. January, their main target needs to be getting a striker and also getting Christian Benteke back to fitness and getting playing well again, because he was low on confidence when he got injured. But you expected Tottenham to win, even though I also wasn't surprised that it was a very flat performance following their win over Real Madrid. But big win for Spurs. Just keeps the momentum going. Then they'll joint second and level on points with Manchester United. But they are all the major talking points from this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Please comment below. Let me know, what do you make of what I've had to say? What do you make about what I'm saying about how I'm going to be talking about the Premier League from now on? And also let me know what your major talking points are from the weekend as well. As always, I'm Aaron Whitnall. Please don't forget to subscribe to ACW Sport, and I will see you guys again soon.